Imagine a scenario where a teenager commits a crime, a heinous act of violence that takes lives. Do the parents bear any responsibility? Could they have done something to prevent it? This is not a hypothetical. These questions form the crux of a landmark case that unfolded in Michigan. In November 2021, a tragedy struck Oxford High School. Ethan Crumbley, a student, opened fire, leaving 4 of his peers dead and 7 others wounded. But this case took an unprecedented turn when not just Ethan but his parents, James and Jennifer Crumbley, found themselves facing charges for the horrific incident. The charges were not for the act itself, but for the alleged roles they played in the lead-up to the shooting. Prosecutors argued that the parents' actions or lack thereof contributed to the conditions that allowed the shooting to occur. They were accused of making a firearm accessible to Ethan and ignoring his mental health needs. Both parents pleaded not guilty to the charges of involuntary manslaughter, the potential penalty for which is up to 15 years in prison. The trial of Jennifer Crumbley began first, with James's scheduled to follow. What was unique about this case was the argument put forth by the prosecution. They alleged that while Jennifer Crumbley did not pull the trigger herself, her actions or inactions rendered her responsible for the deaths. She was accused of disregarding risks when they bought a gun for their son, despite his mental health issues and violent tendencies. The defense, however, argued that Jennifer could not have reasonably foreseen her son's actions and pushed the blame onto her husband for purchasing the firearm and the school for failing to notify her about her son's problematic behavior. Jennifer Crumbley planned to testify to give her side of the story, insisting she was unaware of her son's deteriorating state and that he'd been hiding things from her. This case marked a significant departure from previous instances where parents were held liable for their children's actions, usually relating to child neglect or failure to secure firearms. Here, the parents were held responsible for the killings. The question of parental responsibility in such instances is a complex and controversial one. This case, however, could set a significant precedent. It serves as a stark reminder of the potential implications of parental actions and decisions and the possible dire consequences of overlooking signs of mental distress in children. This case, while tragic, has sparked a necessary conversation about the role of parents in their children's actions, especially when those actions have fatal consequences. It's a sobering thought and one that will undoubtedly continue to shape discussions and legal proceedings in the future.